Yo, what's up guys, it's UNSC Gamers, and today we are talking about why I hate how school is, what we get taught in school. Alright, certain things are useful. Alright, let's math, that's useful. Social studies, that's useful. Let's see, what else is useful? ELA, English is useful. But let's think about science for a second, folks. Let's think about science. What are we gonna do in science if we actually need to know? Like, what am I gonna get out of science? We're like, oh, animals, they shit out tomato seeds and then it grows again. That's animal reproduction. Holy shit, that's so cool. No, what is that gonna help me in life? When I'm paying bills, I'm like, holy shit. Did you know that animals shit out tomato seeds? Did you know that? They have a coating around them that no, that's not gonna help me with my financial status. If I'm poor, am I gonna be like, yo, dude, check it out. Animals shit out tomato seeds, some more tomato. No one gives a rat's ass because I don't care. No one cares. And we stress out about these subjects because it's a part of our grade. It affects our lives. It affects what job we get, how people see us, whether we're smart or stupid, all right? So why do we need to know? Even social studies. Social studies I also find a little bit, I mean, like, obviously we need to know what we did wrong so we don't have another Holocaust or another segregation issues, all right? Because that's a serious issue and it should be addressed, and we shouldn't judge people for their race or their ethnicity, anything like that. So I guess social studies does have that aspect. But certain things are like, what they should be teaching us: how to write out a check, how to make sure that we're not poor, how to mortgage our house if we need to. The reality is that we got taught some of these things, like we got taught how to save money in like 4th grade, but we were never actually taught, hey, how do you write out a check? How do you keep track of your financial status? Or how do you shave? How do you stay groomed and don't smell like shit? Because I don't even know why we don't get taught that. All right, we don't. We just get taught math, social studies, ELA, and science. So watch, I'm probably gonna forget one. I probably forgot one. Don't even get me started. Actually, I'm gonna get started on the foreign language. Social studies, science, all right. Yeah, those are kind, like, we could live without those. Maybe we should still have social studies. But a foreign language, that should be a choice. We shouldn't need at least 2 years, it's 2 years, right? Yeah, 2 years of a foreign language to get into like a good college or a good high school, all right? Because what am I going to do with this foreign language? My brother, for instance, he took French. I don't even remember how long, but he took French. And now he's in college. Do you think he remembers most of French? No, because he did French, not only because I'm pretty sure you have to take a language unless you're in like reading or something, but because he wanted to be on his resume for colleges and high schools. So, but how is that going to help him? I'm pretty sure he can't really say a sentence in French anymore. He might be able to say like 1 or 2 things, or maybe even a sentence, but not as much as he would have if he was still in the class. He probably forgot most of it. So if I forget it and don't need it in my time, then in my adult life, then why was I taught it? Because I can guarantee you he's more concerned about paying off college loans and being out, knowing how much he's going to get paid, than if he knows freaking French. Because it's not helpful. Like, I guess it's kind of impressive that you know another language. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, it's kind of cool. But it should be a choice. We should be taught things of importance, not things that we could find out on the internet. It's just not necessary to learn this. We just don't need to learn that. A foreign language. We just don't. Unless we plan on taking a trip to this foreign country.
You wouldn't believe me.
Then sure, we can take the class. But you can take a
We
class
set up all the weapons and ammo. We just started
And-
handing stuff out to whatever townspeople were there.
be able to learn a majority of it, and be able to speak in society with maybe a week, maybe a month into the class. Alright. I don't need to take a whole freaking term or a whole freaking year to learn French. Or to learn Spanish or German or whatever the heck you are learning. I honestly don't care what you're, yeah. Certain things like math and ELA, we probably wouldn't be able to function in society without those. We just wouldn't. Just wouldn't be able to function in general.
Just watch my car.
So, that car just fell off the side of the road. Thank you for your car. So, we are wasting time, stress, and energy on things that are useless. Alright? When they could have a class for proper deodorant use. Like, honestly, there are multiple kids in my school that don't understand the concept of deodorant. They're like, oh, I'm so cool, man. I'm all natural. I don't need freaking deodorant. I don't sweat. Guess what, buddy? You smell like a pile of shit. So could you please? I mean, sure, we have health class, but what does that teach us? Well, it teaches us important things, but like, we should have a class that teaches men how to shave their face, because that is something that we will need. Or maybe if you don't need to shave your face, if you like don't, if you think you dig the whole beard and stash shit. But the reality is that we have to ask our parents about how to do that. We have to figure it out either on our own, or figure it out by our parents, or looking it up, something like that. When we have a perfect platform to teach us things like that. School does not teach you how to keep your financial information in, well, not your information, your financials in place. They don't teach you how to save money in school, how to be able, they take your money. They don't teach you how to save it, they take it. And it's not the teacher's fault. They get told what to do. They get given a curriculum for the term, and they are told to do it, to teach it. Now, some teachers suck at teaching. Yes, they do. All right? But it just doesn't mean like we could totally change the curriculum. That is something that is pretty simple, I think, that they could change. Who's in charge of that? Is it like the superintendent or something? Because whoever it is, like, I'm not, you know what pisses me off in this game? Is those give me like these little tests, like out of gas. I don't feel like helping them get to a gas station. But anyway, why are we getting taught how to say oui, bonjour, or shit like that, when we could be taught how to save money, how to deal with an interview, how to get a job, how to stay cyber security, how to not die. All right, like personal security. Like, they don't teach people, like, if you see someone, they tell a stranger danger, but they don't tell you if you think that if you're being tailed, turn 4 corners in a row, and if they're still there, stop in a well-lit area. No, they say if you think you're being followed, call 911. Or they don't tell us what to do in the event that someone's severely injured. Maybe they teach us CPR, but I'm more likely to get a cut on my arm than to require CPR. They don't teach us how to deal with that. They just say, oh, get a Band-Aid, or not even that. But in society, what do I have to do? I have to take a separate class. I have to pay someone, or go on YouTube, or buy a book on how to do this. When we have a perfect teaching platform, we get sent to this building where they teach us shit that sometimes we won't even use in life, when they could be using this platform as something that would teach us useful things. All right, useful things, not how to. I don't want to offend people. How to say "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" because that is so useful. Unless I'm planning to do a trip to Spain, I'm not gonna need that. And I know, there's people in America that speak Spanish. There's a lot of people in America that speak Spanish. That's great. Good for them. No offense to them, or I don't have an issue with it, but it's just like, okay, they speak Spanish. That's nice. But how often? Like, if you know someone, or if you're in an area where there are a lot of people that speak Spanish, or you know a lot of people that speak Spanish, then maybe you can be like, oh, I should probably learn Spanish so I can communicate with these people. Or if you have a job that requires you to speak to people from foreign countries, or from people that can't speak English, that are in the U.S., if you plan to do that, and I know, I'm in middle school, I know that maybe in middle school you don't know what you want to be, or you think you do, and the reality is you might not be an NFL superstar. So I understand how they won't teach us that, but they can teach us basic life necessities. How many people in the world, or in the U.S., let's just stick to the U.S., how many people in the U.S. do you think don't know how to cook their own meals? They get takeout, they go out to a fancy restaurant. What do you think, or maybe they know how to make a bowl of cereal, they make their breakfast in the morning. But dinner, they get takeout. Lunch, they probably eat at work or something. They don't know how to cook. Do we get taught that in school? No, we have to take a separate class to do that. So what is the point? I just don't understand the point of that. Because, I am not going to need to know how to say these things in Spanish or French or German or Russian or whatever you're learning, unless I plan to go there. Or let's think of another subject. Let's think of science. I'm not going to need to know that a plant is made up of cells, and that they need this thing called photosynthesis and shit like that. Because the reality is that unless I plan to be a scientist, or I plan to be a botanist or something like that, I should not need to know this. Or it should not be a huge part of my grade. It should not be something that can hold me back. I don't mind if you teach me this, if you give me a grade for it, and it's on my report card, but idiot. But I should not be able to be held back for something that is not a life necessity, is not going to require me to know science to survive and function in society. It's just not. Sorry to say, sure, it's interesting, and do I enjoy science class most of the time? Yes. Do I find it very interesting? Yes. But do I think it's annoying that it can... Jeez, people just like to run me over today. That I can be held back of going to the next grade because I didn't know that deer shit out tomato seeds to deal with to plant more tomato seeds. I just don't see the point in that. In how I should be able to be held back and have issues with getting to the next grade because I don't know these things. Or that I didn't do this, or I should be able to be scolded for getting at school, for being able to not to get this bad grade. All right, certain things that teachers have the ability to do, I find a little bit annoying.
Oh, that looked bad.
So, tell me what you think. What we should be taught in school, what we shouldn't be taught in school, or what you just think like should be added to our school curriculum. As always, guys, hit a comment, like, subscribe, the usual. Maybe turn on the bell notifications. I know that sounded really cringy, but get over it. Yeah, that's all I got.